What is going on, guys? Back with another video. As the market mostly is having a pullback, a lot of coins are down on the weekly chart. We are seeing a lot of strength in Zebec. This is an altcoin which I believe still has good potential from here, and I was stacking it up very heavy on this dip, which was in the start of July, around 200 to 230 million. I was buying pretty heavily because I was waiting to get entry into this, and I didn't want to buy on this massive surge that we had. I missed it down here when this was under 100 million, but I did decide to really load up heavily around this region, and it is up around 2x, just over 2x from that time. And the thing is, guys, is I still see good potential in this project with what they're doing in the real world. Covering multiple narratives, hot narratives, Depin, RWA, payment solutions. And of course, currently this is now a mid. You could also call this a high cap, depending on your definition of a high cap. 450 million with the majority of the supply already out. This has very, very healthy trading volume. But the reason I still believe in this, guys, is really because of what they're doing in terms of developments, right? So recent news, we all saw what was happening in relation to their ad campaign on the TV. They are going to be rolling out the next installment of this TV campaign, and you can imagine just how much that's going to cost. They have the money behind them. They're generating real revenue from their different products. And again, this is, maybe you've seen these ads on your TV network, but this is just insane marketing, guys. And I just really think this has massive potential. Also, we've seen them have a partnership with Algorand, again another layer one which is starting to have a bit of a comeback. And in terms of the partnership, it is to basically facilitate different payment through their cards. So basically, for the people who hold Algorand, with this partnership, with this integration with the cards through Zebec, this means that the Algorand holders can now basically spend their tokens anywhere where MasterCard is accepted. And also they can access the payroll solutions through Zebec as well. So this is a massive partnership. Algorand, even though it's an older project, it's still a project which is still stuck around and continues to develop, right? And this is one thing that Zebec is really doing well. They're having so many different partnerships. They're attending so many different events. And these events are being hosted by people who have worked for big publications, the likes of the Independent newspaper here as well, people from big organizations. And you can see here as well, you can see here consistent sort of different interviews, update spaces here, deep dive into the Zebec and Algorand partnership with real world use case across payments and RWA. And as I've said, guys, it is just really good what they're doing, attending all these different events, co-hosted with Cointelegraph. And again, event brought together partners and Web3 leaders, driving new deals, partnerships, and momentum for Zebec's payroll and card programs. So with all these events that they're attending, guys, they're just expanding their sort of client base. And as I've said, it's just a really good way to market, right? Other things we've seen as well, guys, they obviously had they spoke at the Houses of Parliament, I believe, in the UK. You can see here earlier this month, they represented Zebec at the UK House of Parliament, invited by Baroness Susan Kramer for UK's Whistleblowers Week. They joined policymakers, legal experts, and government leaders to discuss tech, AI, and ethics. So, again, making a lot of progress within the UK. Obviously, the UK wants to try and be a crypto hub. And, this is one of the projects that is really trying to make that possible. And, this is something I like. And something else, which is actually the real success that you can sort of gauge of a project. This is where you see the actual results, guys. So this is the monthly volume report for the last month of June 2025. You can see, their payroll volume is continuing to increase. They're getting a lot more clients, enterprise clients on board to use the payroll solutions, and having a lot more employees. So currently nearly 12,000 employees who are basically going to make the payroll more efficient in terms of, being paid in a more flexible manner, with different, of course, with different choice in terms of what they want to be paid in, flexibility, and that sort of thing. And then also something else which is really doing well is their cards product as well, where they basically issue all the different cards. Volume is increasing at a massive pace, $52 million, nearly 12,000 cards issued across nearly 100 countries, guys. So as I've said, guys, this is such a very, very strong project. And, of course, the main thing was in regards to the payroll solution, which obviously has potential, and it already is making the whole payroll solution, very more, cost effective, more efficient for people, for employees who want to be paid in different choices. So you can see here, you can adjust the stream. You can basically, have less holdups. It's encrypted and distributed. You can send it to different wallets of your choice, whether that's crypto wallets, and it can also be paid in stable coins as well, I believe as well. So again, massive use case, guys. Payroll industry is huge. The market is massive. And this is going to be, or already is, one of the main movers in that space, guys. And then obviously when it comes to the cards as well, which is also really quickly becoming one of the main points for Zebec. The cards are getting sort of, they're partnering with a lot of different companies, organizations, to basically help the company spend their native token, and just gives a lot more flexibility. So in terms of the use case, guys, it is really doing well. When you have a look at the Depin sector, this is quickly becoming one of the main movers. You can see it is up over 52%. And I've said this before, guys, this is one which is easily going to come up this list, guys, right? For me, this is stronger than a lot of the other competition in this narrative. Also, when it comes to payment solutions, according to CoinGecko, this is currently ranked number 3 in terms of payment solutions. And I do think this will become the top player in this narrative. And then also when it comes to the RWA sector as well, it is making big moves in that sector as well, guys. So these are, 3 sectors, obviously RWA, Depin, but also payment solutions, which does have a lot of potential from this point, guys. So really good in terms of the updates, guys. Everything is on point with what they're doing. Of course, we saw the partnership with Uphold as well. So just every time they're just doing more and more partnerships, more and more updates, acquisitions. Of course, we saw the acquisition of Science Card, but also what they're doing as well, they're doing regular buybacks. Here you can see they did a buyback of $60,000, which is huge, guys, right? So really impressive. You can see all of this on SolScan. And yeah, guys, if you're looking for a Depin RWA payment solutions project, but obviously pay in mind that this is no longer a low cap, this is a mid cap. And also when you come over and have a look at the backers behind this, guys, they raised, I think, nearly $50 million. They've got Coinbase Ventures, they've got Circle, they've got huge tier 2 investors as well. Majority of the supply is already out, so you don't really need to worry about dilution. And yeah, guys, I think, even at this current stage, I don't think they actually have the Coinbase listing yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like it is there. And you can imagine that is another catalyst, which I think is going to make this explode. So in terms of, price prediction, guys, 450 million, I can see this still potentially doing a 10, maybe 20x from here. Again, it is going to depend just how big the Depin and RWA sector pumps. But yeah, guys, quick update on Zebec, very bullish on it. It is good to see this really performing well, and it is very close to all-time high, just 24% away from all-time high, guys. And also, they managed to onboard a lot of the XRP army as well. So yeah, guys, they're doing everything well. One of the best projects in terms of marketing, and I do think this can really perform well even from here. But again, isn't going to give you those insane gains as a low cap can give you. But if you're in the market for a mid/high cap, this is a good option, which gives you exposure to different narratives, guys. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for the next video.